Hey guys, it's masatonic. I'm Bilingual Harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。Bilingual Harukist の masatonic です。Haruki Murakami will guide short story 16, theseventhman. So, in this video, I'd like to talk about Haruki Murakami's short story, theseventhman, which is contained in the Blind Willow and Sleeping Woman. It's a very interesting story, like always. So, I hope this video would help to read and enjoy more deeply this very interesting book. And perhaps the seventh one is not so famous, especially in the English market, I guess. But it's very interesting book. So let's move into contents. So as always, this video consists of three parts. First, overview, second, story, and third, deep reading or reading tips supposed and presented by me. So first, overview. Firstly, this work appeared in literary magazine Bungei Shunju in Japan in 1996 February, and after that in English market, containing Blind Willow Sleeping Woman 2007 October, like I said. But in Japan, before that, originally contained in the another collection of short stories, the Lexington Ghost. This is it. It's same as Silence, which is I talked about in the previous video. So it's published in 1996, 11. So basically, the Seventh Man is published in 1996. So which means maybe when I was back in 15 years old, I guess. Wow, it's quite a long years ago. But and the surprising thing, in Japan, this text used as a high school Japanese text. Wow, it's interesting. So, but maybe that was after I graduated high school, and maybe I graduated from university also. I'm very surprised, but that makes sense. This text is so interesting and not so long, and then including so many aspects, especially some, I don't know, moral things. It's in a way it's same as silence. I think there's silence and this one, the seventh mind is quite similar. Maybe both of them theme is something in common. And in English market, the silence contained in the elephant vanishes, and the seventh man contained in the Blind Willow and Sleeping Woman. So different book, different collection of short stories. But in Japan, both works contained in here, same collection of short stories, the Lexington Ghost. So in a way, that two works is quite similar and in a way. So that's an overview of the work. So let's move into what kind of story this is. It's interesting because the basically the narrator is the seventh man. The seventh man told his story to audiences. The the situation is not precisely depicted or depicted. So at first, reader couldn't recognize what kind of situation they were. But anyway, there are some people and made a circle, and perhaps both of them told their own story. I don't know what kind of story, but maybe some kind of story they told. And then seventh man's turn had come, and then seventh man started to talk, and he told his story of wave. Yes, he had experience of huge, almost swallowed by a huge wave. So maybe it could be called tidal wave or tsunami. So and then so basically his narrating is the main story. So their story is something like this. And at first, the seventh man at the seventh man is almost 50 years old, and his story is going back to about 14 years ago. So when he was about 10 years old, he had a friend who his name is K. Only just the initial is used, just K. So seventh man and K. Both of them are about 10 years old. K is 1 year old younger than seventh man, but they are both quite maybe in elementary school, fifth or fourth or fifth grade, I guess. So, and they are very close. Actually, seventh man has his older brother by his own, but older brother and the seventh man had separated from some years. So in a way, seventh man feel close sympathy to K than his own, his real brother. So they are very close. And then K is something very talented kid, especially he had a talent of painting. So writing, drawing a picture, drawing a painting. So something like the similar or model of the protagonist of Killing Commendatory, I guess. Of course, the Killing Commendatory's case is much more focused on the portrait, but in drawing paintings, in a way, a little bit similar. And anyway, and that kind of genius type of or artistic type of K are very close to seventh man, and they're very close. And one day, in the town, there is some typhoon hits their town, and then during the typhoon, there's some very calm spots, so-called eyes of a typhoon is they were. So seventh man asked his father, and his father is a doctor, and yeah, can I go outside during the very calm timing of the typhoon? And his father allowed it. Okay, but if something happened, you have to come back, and I understood. And then the seventh man went to the ocean. Actually, their house is quite close to the ocean. And then at the beach, Kay was there. And the seventh man and Kay are just kind of afraid around near the beach. And then seventh man is born and lost in near the beach, near the sea. So in a way, basically, he understood the how to say fear of sea, what they should worried about, considered about. So they try not to reach the how to say the water side. They Sibusman, he thinks he should keep some distance from the water itself. But when he noticed the water is very quietly almost reach his bare foot, and he sensed or something could happen. It's something irregular things would happen. So at first, the seventh man told Kay, we should return. But at first, Kay didn't recognize. And then next moment, the so strange and huge sound at Kay, no, not Kay, the seventh man noticed something terrible would happen. So the fear hit him. So seventh man almost ran away from the beach, much more distance that he took. And then looking back, Kay was still there, same place, very near the beach. And then at that time, finally, seventh man told to Kay, you should run, you should run. And then finally, Kay noticed, but it's too late. There's huge tidal wave just coming, just very near the Kay. And then the Kay recognized the situation. It's too late. The huge wave swallowed Kay, and then seventh man very shocked. Of course, very very shocked. And then next, he knew that such a kind of tidal wave. It's not just one time or second time or second wave or third wave would come. So he just wait there, and then as he predicted, the second wave, much more bigger wave than the first wave, would coming. And then this is very scary moment. And inside the wave, the seventh man found K in the wave. And then the expression of K is terrible. The K's lips kind of apart, but very widened to the near the ear. And then his expression like smiling to seventh man, and he would have some intent to take seventh man to the tidal into the tidal wave, something like that. So expanding arm and smiled at seventh man. So, but seventh man couldn't move, and then that comes shock, and almost the second wave with K almost leads seventh man, but in the but there is some kind of distance, so seventh man could save from very dangerous situation, and then the second wave with K going return to the sea, and finally seventh man could save from that situation, and then some neighborhood people found that situation and took seventh man to his home, and gradually he recovered from the stroke and the incident, but finally K had lost, and the K's body couldn't found. So, and of course, K's parents almost going mad from shock by this incident. And of course, seventh month's body could recover, but his mentor all also has some kind of wound. So seventh man asked his parents, I, I just I just couldn't stay here, so I should go. I should live far more town. I should go far outside this beach. And so he moved from his hometown, much more mountainside. And at there, at the mountainside, he grown up to the junior high school, and enter into university at there, and started to work as an engineer. And 14 years had passed. Someday, 14 years later, the seventh man's father had passed away, and his older brother, collected some old goods, and he found at seventh man's belonging, and the seventh his brother sent to seventh man of his old days so many goods, and in it he found a case painting at there. So K's, as I said earlier, K's are very good at painting picture, painting, drawing a painting, and he found K's painting after 40 years, and he recognized I could have some very serious mistake at first. When huge wave swallowed K, and he found K's expression very fearful, and he tried to grab him to the sea, but maybe that was just mistake, because at that time seventh man had a very fear. That fear could reflect on K's face. K is very how to say, very nice guy, and he has a very warm heart, because K's painting towards seventh man, K's such a heart. So he recognized, and seventh man recognized, I should go homecoming, and he returned to his hometown since 40 years. And then, of course, the town is totally changed. So there's almost nothing could remain, but sea is same, ocean is same, and he after 40 years he finally returned to that sea and felt the wave, and at that moment the 14 years time had, how to say, melted down. It is that part, or it's very hard to explain, but Haruki Murakami's the way of writing such a reunion with 40 years time is very emotional, and then very nice. So it's worth reading. Only that part, but I think so. And then finally he recovered from the his terrible experience. And then he and going back to the 40 years later, there's such a gathering, and then he talked about his own definition of fear, and then finish. So that kind of story, how is it? It's very deep, and then this story remain in one's our heart very deeply. Actually, it's my personal story. I I born and grow up not very, but kind of close to she. So something, maybe to some extent, situation is same as a seventh month case. And me, I'm a oldest one in my family, and then I have a younger brother. So in a way, quite little bit similar to seventh month and the case of relationship, me and my younger brother. So and he really he couldn't drawing any picture, but he really like playing at sea. He do or something. So there are so many possibilities to this kind of a incident could happen. So when I just how to say imagine that kind of situation, I'm so terrible, so terrible. So in a way, I very easy to sympathize with the seventh month's experiences. So in a way, this story kind of very remain in my heart. Well, so how could we enjoy or deeply reading this story? My tips. So maybe we should think about the meaning of seven. The title is Seventh Man. So seventh man talking his own story, but what the meaning of seven? What about any other first to sixth people? What kind of topic they're talking about? That's a very interesting topic to think about. And also, we should think about the meaning of fear. Very end part of this story. The definition of the fear, at least at the seventh man, is something like this. Right. The definition of fear is turning our backs on it. It means fear. Turning our backs on fear. So fear itself exists, but the most frightening things to Stephen's mind is not fear itself, just turning our backs on him and close our eyes. So just how to say ignore about fear's existence. It's something like as if fear does not exist. So such a how to say exposure is very fearful thing. That's a seventh month's a definition of fear, not just fear, but didn't recognize fear itself. That is very kind of interesting. And I think this is the seventh month's story of very fearful experience of tidal wave and lost his close friends. But this how to say structure, fear exists, but most frightful thing is didn't recognize fear. This is the I think theme and the key point of this story, and this topic could be could um, could be a metaphor of any other things, right? In Stevenson's case, that fear is wave. So at first he tried not to turning his back on fear wave, and then he 40 years he took to recognize and confront with fear itself, and 40 years, and he finally recovered from it. Um, but so in other people's case, the fear is another thing could happen. Anything, it could be anything. So that kind of thing we can think about it. And then one thing I really I think very interesting is in the almost same part of the novel, there's some kind of sentences here. they tell us that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. But I don't believe that. This is, as you might recognize, this is a quote from Franklin Roosevelt's very famous line, only thing we have to fear is fear itself. In some cases, this sentence is so famous. So many politicians or some magazine article writer quotes from that. But interesting is original text in Japan. There's no kind of cross sentences there, but not on same one. So or direct translation, something like this. Seventhman told, I thought in our life, most fearful thing is not fear itself. So meaning is almost same, but in this case, this in Seventhman's opinion, maybe he didn't refer to Franklin Roosevelt's saying, but in the English one, it's a it's perfectly the same. We only we have to fear. Only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It's just the same sentences. So it's a quite interesting. Maybe only English reader can notice that how to say similarity. I think that's very interesting. And the final point is thinking about so many deep things. So maybe we should release our heart and the mind more calm. So let's go to sea. And then of course not such a lousy temperature, the weather, but much more good day with bright sun. Let's go to sea and have a beer. And then of course thinking about these kind of things is very interesting, but just relax. And then reading again is very much interesting thing, I guess. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this video could interest you and would help to understand or start to read or read again, right? Thank you for watching again. So if you like it, please give me a good rate, and I would appreciate if you subscribe my channel. So see you next video. Bye.